Hey, everybody. Happy rainy, cold Sunday night. But it's time to decorate another cookie. So I hope that you all are excited. Who did a lot of their Christmas shopping this weekend? I'm curious. I did a bunch, which is fun because now I don't have to worry about it as much. So this is one of the cookies from my Cheerful Box cookie cutter set. And let's get started. Now I'm going to show you all a video because that way I can talk in case anybody has questions, since it's just me, myself, and I right here. And if you have any questions while we go on, feel free to ask. So
Hey, this is Lauren, the Cheerful Baker, and today we're going to decorate one of the cookies from my cookie decorating kit, the Cheerful Box. I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take our black piping icing and we are going to go around where the hat is going to be. And after we pipe it, we are going to fill it in with our black flood. You notice probably that there are some very faint lines that I drew on the cookie. What I did is I just looked at the design and I decided where I wanted the brim of his hat to be and where I wanted his hat to start. I don't want to fill in the cute band on his hat.
Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but I just wanted to tell you all, I have so many questions. In fact, the most commonly asked question is, what projector do I use? So since tomorrow is Cyber Monday, I put the projector that I love that I got on Amazon on my page so you all can see. And who knows? I mean, I have no idea if it'll be on sale, but maybe it will be. So I just wanted to share that real quick.
Then I can use my piping icing to just go over the lines that I drew on my cookie using an edible marker. I find that I create cuter cookies when I use edible markers. So you'll notice that I am holding the tip just slightly above the cookie. I'm squeezing out the line of icing and I am allowing the line to fall behind my tip. That way I get a rounder icing line and my flooding icing will not fall over the edge. So now you will notice when I use my flood icing, I'm just kind of going back and forth and I'm wiggling my icing tip. And the reason that I do that is because this is a small area, my flood is a little bit thicker than normal. It's more like a 20-second icing. And when your icing's thicker, you can wiggle your bag as it's coming out, and it helps to smooth that icing out. Next, I'm taking my scribe and I'm just making sure that I have filled in around the edges with my icing. Next, I'm going to go and I'm going to do the same thing on my top. You will notice that I'm going from side to side. I'm kind of wiggling my bag because the icing's a little bit thicker, and that just helps it to come out smoother. Normally, I flood going the whole outside into the center, but this icing, because it's a little bit thicker, that doesn't work as well. It tends to dry faster, and I want to make sure that the sides don't dry before I get to the middle.
Okay, so since we're talking about black icing, can you see how messy this is? But I just want to share with you my favorite black icing. This is Americolor Super Black. I use it all the time, as you can tell. It's very messy. But, that's what happens when we bake a lot. But it's the best coloring for black icing that I have found. You don't have to use a ton of coloring when you're coloring your black icing. And just a little tip about black icing, make it the day before. If you can start by not using white icing, if you have icing that's colored that maybe you have in the refrigerator, it's better to start with a colored icing and then add black. But don't make your icing completely black. Make it gray, and by the next day, it will be black.
So that's why I go kind of in little sections instead of all around the edge. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the felted look on the top of the hat. I have a mini food processor that I'm just putting in confectioner's sugar. Next I'm going to add in Master Elite from the Sugar Art in black. And then I'm going to put this on my food processor and I'm going to process it just to get it all mixed together. And that's what it looks like. So I've allowed this to dry till it's probably an hour or so in my dehydrator. And when I use my dehydrator, I use it on the very lowest setting, so it's really like being in front of a fan. Next, I'm going to take my black piping icing, and you'll notice that I just do squiggles. Next is a very soft brush, and I'm just going to very gently tap on the icing. And prepare it to put my black sugar, powdered sugar that I did in my food processor on top. The reason I'm using a soft brush is my icing isn't that dry, and I want to make sure that I don't put a hole in my cookie. So I'm using a very light pressure and a very soft brush. Next, I'm going to take the mixture that I made in the food processor. I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the top of that wet icing. And I'm going to put a good amount. I am a little heavy-handed, to tell you the truth, and messy, but that's kind of how I decorate. And then after I put it on here, you'll see I'm going to take another brush, a dry brush, and I'm just going to brush off the excess. And it gives such a cool effect. It reminds me a little bit of velvet when it dries. Either velvet or felt. So I'm just brushing off the excess. And then it'll completely dry into my icing, because my icing isn't 100% dry underneath. And then of course I use the wet icing with the paintbrush on top of the icing that had dried a little bit. I'm going to keep brushing this to clean it off pretty good. Now you want to do this part before you've decorated the rest of your cookie, and you can tell why. Because you will have lots of black on your cookie, but you won't be able to see it once you put icing on top of it. Now I am ready to do the band. So I'm going to do this with my piping icing because this is such a small area and I don't want to risk craters. I'm going to use my piping icing, which is thicker. Again, my piping icing here isn't as thick as maybe a traditional piping icing. It's closer to a 20-second icing.
I just wanted to address this question because it was a great question. Does it affect the taste like too much red? Yes, it does. So if you oversaturate your black icing, it does not taste very good. It tastes better than red. There's nothing worse than oversaturated red icing. It tastes terrible. So that's why I don't like to put too much color and why I like the AmeriColor, because the icing still tastes good. Good question.
I did that on purpose because I knew that I was going to use it to pipe in these small areas. but I also can use it just as regular piping icing. So I really like 20-second icing. It holds its shape so you can use it with piping, but it also smooths out. You have to work with it just a little bit to smooth out, but it works really, really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my green piping icing and I'm just going to go around the outside of my scarf. Next, I'm going to pipe the edge of my snowman face with my white piping icing, and then I'm going to completely fill in the face with my white flood icing.
Now, do y'all notice I'm putting lots of icing on there? That is key to having smooth icing on a cookie. Make sure you put lots and lots of icing. If you notice that your cookie is not,
Now I don't have to wait until my white dries.
sorry, you'll notice that if your cookie is not, the icing is not smooth, but you feel like the consistency is right, then you need to put on more icing. Hey, Paula.
To go ahead and fill in my green because this is just the base that I'm going to go over top of with my cute design that I'm going to show you how to do next.
Now I'm going to show you how to do a knit look on this cookie, but really you could do it just like this. You could leave
Next,
it,
I'm going to show you the
put the face on, and it still would be super, super cute. The same thing with the hat. You wouldn't have to do the felted look. You could just make it black.
consistency that you need to use when you are piping your scarf design. We're going to use a really, really thick consistency.
Also, for those of you that want to know more about royal icing consistencies, I do have a class that I sell on cheerfulcutters.com, and it is a royal icing 101 class, and it teaches you everything that you need to know about royal icing. Plus, I give you my recipe and my recipe for meringue powder. So if I'm talking about consistencies and your head is going to explode because you really are just confused, you might want to check that out. Just FYI. Let's get back to the video.
So here we go. Here's the icing. Now you can see a curl to the tip. That is too loose. But I do not want to clog up my bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this neat little gadget here, a little sifter, and I'm going to put powdered sugar in it. And then I'm just going to shake it in there, and that way it won't clog up the tip. And then I'm going to mix up the powdered sugar until when I pull my knife out again, you will notice that little tip does not move. That's what I want for the scarf, for the sweater effect. I want to make sure I have really good and thick icing. So, see how that doesn't move? We're ready for the piping.
Also, I use an offset spatula when I mix my icing. It makes it so much easier.
Here I'm using Wilton tip number 3. I like to use tips when I'm doing real detailed piping. So here you will see I'm going to do it kind of fast. Well, not real fast, but I'm going to show you closer up here in just a moment so you'll be able to see exactly how to do it. But the first step, remember this is very thick icing, is to draw a line in the middle of your scarf. Next, I am using a back and forth motion, and it's almost like I'm doing a heart on top of another heart on top of another heart. And it's one fluid motion, and you will notice how when it comes out of the bag you can still see the design. That's because I used that thick icing. So now let's get closer so you can see.
Michelle just said, "How do I send stars?" And I have no idea. In fact, that I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of that. That pops up automatically from Facebook. So don't even worry about that. But I appreciate you asking the question. So let's continue.
I'm squeezing out a ball of icing and pulling down. Squeezing out, pulling down, and almost making a Y. You see that Y? Squeezing out, pulling down. So I'm squeezing a little bit more when I get to the top so that I have a little bit more icing. So I'm just making Ys over and over. And so I went one direction on the top and a different direction on the bottom. Next, I'm going to do the scarf part. You know, it's like it's looped over. Doing the exact same thing. Squeeze, pull down. Now here, I'm not doing a Y. I'm just doing hearts. So you can do it either way, whichever is more comfortable for you. I like the Y because that way I'm not really pulling my hand up. But you might prefer the hearts, but you'll see you have the exact same look. So again, heart, then a heart below. And it's very easy as long as you have that good thick icing where the tip does not move when you pull your knife out of the bowl. Now let's add our details. I'm just going to take my black piping icing and I am going to make his eyes. And it is impossible for me to put eyes in the same spot on both sides of the face unless I turn the cookie upside down. So that's my little trick for you. For some reason, it tricks my mind and I can pretty much put the eyes evenly spaced on the cookie. Now I need to make them a little bit bigger. So I'm just squeezing out a little bit more icing. And then I'm going to use my scribe to push it down a little bit because I don't want peaks at the top, because in a little bit after it dries, I'm going to do some white catch lights. Next, I'm going to take my orange icing, and this is piping consistency. I'm just going to squeeze out a little carrot nose. I'll also draw a little sideways smile, and then I take the Elite Color Aurora Rose and a very soft brush, and I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to the cheeks.
Color on the cheeks makes all the difference. It just adds character.
You'll
to the
also
cookie.
notice that I made a cute holly leaf on the top of the hat. I just made the leaf with piping icing, and then I used piping icing to make the berries. That's really important. You don't want to use flood icing or your berries will all just blend together. So I made sure to do those berries using piping icing. And this little cute cookie is all done. Want to know how to decorate the rest of the cookies in this set? Check out the Cheerful Box. It has all the cookie cutters and the step-by-step tutorial that you need to make adorable Christmas cookies at home. Merry Christmas! Hey,
Hey, this is okay. So that was how to decorate the cute snowman in my Cheerful Box. If you haven't heard yet, the Cheerful Box is a coordinated cookie cutter set that comes with the step-by-step tutorial on how to decorate every cookie in the box. And so, what you just watched was one of the tutorials that you can watch over and over and over. It makes a great gift for yourself. It makes a great gift for someone else. This month, you get some special things with your purchase. Whether you buy a one-time box, which I don't normally do that, but I wanted to do it for Christmas because it makes such a great Christmas gift. If you buy a one-time box, you get or the subscription, you get the recipes that I use on the Christmas Cookie Challenge on the Food Network. And one of them is chocolate covered strawberry, which is delicious. I feel like it's sort of my claim to fame because Reed Drummond loved it. And I mean, when the Pioneer Woman likes something that you made, it's a pretty good day. But it tastes like a strawberry brownie. It's really, really good. You get that, and then you get my gingerbread recipe, which uses sort of a spice mix. So you can just make that up and have it on hand, and it makes it a lot easier to make gingerbread. Plus, it's really delicious. And then the other one is a lemon curd pecan cheesecake. And you can use that as a decorated cookie, or you can just use that on its own. Oh, it is so good. Oh, Kathy, you got your box. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad to see that some of you all subscribe. That's awesome. So, again, you can find out more about that if you go to cheerfulcutters.com, and that is right here. And just search for the Cheerful Box, and you only get the recipes free until the last day of November. It's just a special for November. Also, just FYI, if you are a subscriber, you also get my Royal Icing 101 class. So I mentioned that earlier. You get that free because how can you make cute cookies if you're confused about the icing, right? So that is a benefit to subscribers. Plus, all subscribers have the option of joining our Facebook group, which is filled with wonderful, sweet, talented cookie decorators. And who knows, you might even meet your bestie in that group. And then, last but not least, if you want to know more about boxes, I know this time of year we're all packaging our cookies and we have no clue what size box to use. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years and I still don't know what size box to buy unless I look at my box cheat sheet. So you can go to my website and there'll be a pop-up that you put in your email, and I'll send you my box cheat sheet, which tells you what size box fits the cookies that you have. And it is so helpful. I really did that for me because I could never remember. And then I thought, I need to judge this up a little bit and give it to everybody else. So Charlotte says, or K.A. Green, K Green. What's your first name? I bought the Cheerful Box. I can't wait to decorate them all. I'm so excited to hear that. And then Charlotte says, I cut out all my shapes and baked last night, getting ready to make icing. Oh, here, I'll show you all. Let me show you real quick. The Cheerful, I can go to my Cheerful Cutters. Also, I always forget to tell people, but if you are if you have a 3D printer, you can actually, we have a digital cheerful box that you can get too, and then you can print them yourself. So if you go to cheerfulcutters.com, this is going to pop up, and then you can put in your email, and I will send you the cookie packaging cheat sheet. And then here is at the top, you go to the Cheerful Box cookie decorating kit. And then here's the Cheerful Box. Here's the digital Cheerful Box. And this is what you get. Free subscriber bonus this month only. The recipes that I use. Here again are all the cookie cutters. You get 6 large, 3 mini, and then the recipes that you get. Chocolate covered strawberry, gingerbread, lemon curd pecan cheesecake. And then again, here are some of the designs that the cookie cutters will make and what I teach you in the class. So if you are interested, again, you can do the subscribe and save, which is $42.97, or you can do a one-time purchase of $52.97. So any question? Are the templates on your site too? Kathy, if you're talking about the templates to the specific cookies, every Cheerful Box subscriber gets the hold on. Gets I need to use better English than that, right? Receives the clip art. So you can use the clip art in your projector, which I think that is hopefully makes things easier. Now, if you are a Cheerful Box subscriber and you are watching this, make sure that you join our Cheerful Box Club. And I have sent, I'm looking up to see exactly what I called it. Hi, baby. You can come in. I've called it, my son's checking out how cool I am. It's called a Cheerful Box Monthly Cookie Club. So you should have received a email from me about how to join that. The holly on the hat, did you show how to do that? I did not show how to do that. And the reason I didn't is because in the entire kit that I show, we actually decorate a holly. You can kind of see it a little bit in one of the pictures. And so basically, we're just doing it the same way. But I can tell you how I did it. All I did was took green piping icing and I just made the outline of a holly leaf, which is 2 little indentations on both sides with pointy edges. And then the main thing is you want to use piping icing, and you want to use piping icing for the red berries. Ruth said, I got my box. I'm so impressed with it that I'm going to subscribe and save. Yeah, I'm so excited about that, Ruth. If you all don't know, let me remove that. This is a total family owned business. You can see I'm in my dining room / office, and right back there are all of our printers. And so my husband works on the printers. I find, either purchase, work with a designer, get the clip art, and then I design all the cookie cutters on Fusion 360. Then I coordinate. It's a coordinated set, because one of the hardest things for me when I first started was knowing what cookie designs to put together to make a cohesive set. So I do that for you. We print them all here, and then my son and his friends pack all of the boxes, and I film the video. So it's a fun family-owned business. And make sure thank you, Paula, that the cutters are great quality. I need to give a shout out to my friend Sam for that. She really helped me with that. What color did you say you used on the snowman cheek?
And the Cheerful Baker.
And go back, because it's crazy that I can't tell you. I can't remember that right off, but let me find it real quick, and then we can, because I don't remember. I have so many. Here it is right here. Let's go back just a teeny tiny little bit more, because I hold it up. Here it is. Elite Color Aurora Rose. And this is from the Sugar Art. All the colors that I use are from the Sugar Art. I love them. They have new gel colors that I use. I also use my powdered colors I love the Sugar Art. I not only love their product, but I love the owners. They're so nice. I have been an affiliate for them for years because it's really the only thing I use. I really love it. You can use the code Cheerful Baker, and I think you save. I can't honestly remember if it's 10 or 15% because I always forget to tell people about it, quite honestly. But that's what I always use for the snowman cheeks. And you can go to Sugar Art. I think it's sugarart.com. But if you put in Sugar Art food color, it'll come right up. So are there any other questions that you all have about the cookie cutters, the cheerful box, or the cute snowman tutorial that we just did? I appreciate you all watching. I used to do these live where I decorated at the same time I tried to talk to people, and that just didn't work for me because I missed questions and, I can't concentrate on that many things. So I hope that you all enjoy watching the pre-recorded video and having me give some kind of tips. It makes it a lot easier for me, and then you can go back and watch it too. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I sure did. And my oldest son, who came in here a minute ago, is home from college. So my life is complete. And I guess that's it. Thank you all for your support of my business, and the lives will keep coming. Oh, Sugar Art had a big sale, 50% off on some elite powders. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, go check them out. Tomorrow's, what is it called? Tomorrow, Monday, Cyber Monday. So they might have another sale tomorrow. So, okay, I guess that's it. Thanks. Have a great night. See ya. Bye.